time for motivation, and we've got Nkem Ofonabo, also known as the Harmonizer, Africa's premier work-life harmony coach. Now, today, we're still talking about what we did last week. It's a part 2, well-being at work, right? Okay, you are welcome. Well-being at work. I mean, I'd have to draw as much as possible personal inferences from here. Now, when you say well-being at work, what exactly do you mean? What is it to have a well-being at work? What does it mean exactly?
Thank you. I think it's very important that we address that. So thank you for having me once again. So I recall last week, so you said this is part 2.
Yeah.
And what exactly is well-being at work? And it's simple. It's about promoting an atmosphere where employees feel healthy, happy, and they are productive. And it encompasses 4 major aspects. So you talk about the physical, you talk about the mental, you talk about the emotional, and their social well-being.
Oh, wow. And all of this, a workplace needs to have all of this for this to function.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's start with physical. What do you mean by that now?
Okay, so for physical health, like we're looking at you now, and what are the things that will make you physically healthy? And we're talking about the things that we eat. A lot of time people think that, oh, okay, let's go to gym and all that.
Whose responsibility is this in the workplace?
Okay, it's about a culture, right?
Okay.
Promoting a culture of well-being, and
Okay.
whose responsibility really is leadership. I recall we talked about that last week with Titi. It's leadership, really, because everything rises and falls on leadership.
Okay.
And it's the responsibility of leaders to promote a culture of well-being.
Of well-being. Good.
Absolutely.
Now, from the physical, now you're talking about the mental. Now, this is the one that really has a lot of people going on, because the workplace can be quite a toxic environment, as it were. How do we promote the mental well-being when it comes to the workplace?
Okay, I'm not quite sure if I addressed the physical.
Okay.
Exactly.
Round
But
up
the
with
physical exactly talks about what are some of the initiatives that we can bring about to ensure that employees are fit, right? So we talk about the fitness aspect of it. I know that in organizations that I've worked in or worked with, I've introduced like fitness exercises even in the workplace.
How regular?
Well, it all depends. So the one I did with my previous employer was quarterly.
Quarterly?
Every quarter, yeah. We invite a fitness coach come to the organization and probably close of business, and everybody does some form of exercise, aerobics, meditation, and the likes. And also ensuring that the environment is safe in terms of your ergonomics, the chairs, that we sit down to work and all of that. Because if your posture is affected, it also affects your health and, of course, your performance. And so then let me now go back to the mental that you talked about. So mental health is about providing an organization that is psychologically safe. Providing an organization that is psychologically safe. And what I mean psychological safe is what are the things around mental health. Our organizations, our employees rather, are aware of the things that impact their mental health, the stress within the organization. Do they know how to manage stress? Do they know when they are overwhelmed and they have some challenges?
Okay.
Who do they talk to?
All right, good. You know what happens?
Help can they get?
All right, wonderful. Now, you spoke about the physical and all that. Now, in my particular line of work, you understand, like you said, quarterly, is it enough? When you just look at it, because there's some people that even do it yearly. Some people say it's 6 months, and then some people, there are some places it's actually once in a year that they come and they want to do, that physical thing. Sometimes it's sports and all of that. You see, but like you mentioned, it's important. It's something that I think that we should get to do more often. So can you tell people that maybe before the start of work, they come earlier and then they start all of this, or how do they go about it if you want to make it more regular?
Truth is, the first idea behind it is to promote it as a culture, right?
Okay.
Do you understand? So that employees begin to know that it's important. So in their own personal life, they can inculcate it. And one of the things we also do is to make sure that every employees have a gym subscription. So when you have a gym subscription, it's now your responsibility to ensure that every day you go to the gym, 6:30, 7 a.m., go to the gym, exercise before coming to work, and that helps to boost your dopamine.
I start 6:30.
Well, you can choose to do after work.
Okay, I like that. Okay, let's move to the mental now because, like I said, that's quite a big one that affects a lot of people. That mental well-being at work. How do we ensure that the mental well-being of the staff are optimal?
Okay, so like I said, it starts from leaders, right? And so by the time we make it the leadership responsibility that we need to provide a psychologically safe environment. So you start with them. What kind of training, how are leaders empowered to know that I need to be able to provide that psychological safety? It has to start from them. How emotionally intelligent are the leaders? Because if you're emotionally intelligent, you'll be able to manage your emotion and that of the people that work with you, right? And then how often do you check in with your people? Sometimes when people begin to underperform, it goes beyond what is happening at work. It can be things happening in their personal life. How are you able to detect those variations in emotions, those variations in performance, and tackle it? And also ensuring that there is help. So we have things like employee assistance programs. Organizations have in-house counselors, coaches, therapists, that when employees feel that I need to talk to someone, I don't want to talk to my boss, but do I have access to a counselor, a therapist that I can talk to when I feel like...
People might be scared that those people that are provided by the workplace could actually be talking to the bosses.
So that's
if my office provide a therapist for me to talk to, and then I tell them some things that might even affect, relationship, how am I sure that they are not going to tell
Every
my bosses?
profession have their ethics. And as a coach, as a therapist, you have that responsibility to protect the confidentiality of your client.
Yeah.
So if you go about sharing personal details of your client with your employer, you are breaching.
You're breaching it, and some people do it.
Well, it all depends. So if there is a case and we want to get to the root cause of that, do you understand? And every employer has a responsibility to work with the therapist to find out, because this one is now solution-driven.
Okay. All right. Now, you spoke about two other parts. There's psychological. Did you
Talked about
that?
physical, mental, emotional, and social.
Emotional and social. Okay, all right. Well, what about those ones? How do you...
So emotional is about ensuring that employees feel seen, valued, and motivated. So what are some of the things that we can begin to do in the workplace to ensure that employees feel seen, valued, and motivated? So it starts from how you even design the jobs. How meaningful are the jobs? And because when I see that my job is meaningful, I know that every single contribution of mine adds to the bottom line of the organization. And when I go above and beyond to perform, how do you recognize me? So what are the recognition, reward policies?
So it's not just punitive. If I default, there should always be some sort of a reward, if I perform well. And then let's round up very fast to social.
Social now talks about connectivity, because we are all social beings.
Yes, we are.
How connected, how do I trust my employee to provide that sense of community, that camaraderie within the organization? So what are the social initiatives, activities that we do beyond work that's... Even when I leave that organization, I remember it. I recall an organization I worked with and someone was leaving. During the exit interview, I said, what are the things you will miss in the organization? And they're like, oh, some of the give back activities that we do, some of the TGIFs that we do. Those are the things that when they remember, they'll know that, oh, I enjoyed myself.
I enjoyed myself. Wonderful. This was quite expository. We will continue with this because we don't have time. We would have spoken more about this, but you're still going to be here across the month for us.
Of course.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much,
Hope you're able
Mike.
to pick up something there. We'll take a time and now stay with us. We're back in a jiffy.